It's hard to believe Michael Bean Black survived this horrific car crash.
18-wheeler cut me, like switched lanes and made me turn, so I turned into the median and hit the median and flipped 9 times. And I was ejected from the car.
And landed on his head. Even the doctors gave up hope.
After 3 days, when the doctor says we're going to take him off life support, and we says it's not going to happen. While he was in the coma, we put up a Bean's recovery group on Facebook. We asked everybody that we knew for prayers, and they passed it on to everybody they knew, and we had prayers from all over the world. And I know that's what brought him out of the coma, and that we could bring him home.
Michael still suffered from severe injuries, including brain damage. Things turned around after he started getting hyperbaric oxygen treatments.
He couldn't talk, hardly. I mean, he'd say things, but they were things that what? And they started him in the hyperbaric chamber, and it cleared him up amazingly. We just couldn't believe it, so we just kept bringing him back.
Hyperbaric oxygen therapy involves breathing 100% pure oxygen inside a pressurized chamber for about an hour to an hour and a half. We normally only breathe about 20% oxygen. Dr. Alfred Johnson says this supercharged oxygen is a natural healer.
With that pressure being present, then the blood vessel is fully saturated with oxygen so that the tissues get 10 to 15 times more oxygen depending upon what the pressure is. Therefore, you get the increase in the healing process and the cell recovery process.
When I first started, I would come here in a wheelchair and have to be wheeled in and get out and go on one of the chambers. And then I moved to a walker, and then I moved to a cane. But it helped my muscles, because my muscles are really tense, and it relaxed them.
After the first 40 treatments, Michael went back for 40 more a few months later. Costs vary from as little as $100 an hour on up. Insurance and Medicare sometimes offer coverage depending on the condition being treated.
When I first started, I had bad case of insomnia and couldn't sleep. And then every time I came here, and after I got done with the chamber, I'd go home and fall asleep. My memory has gotten a lot better because I couldn't really remember. Like, I would do something in the morning, by afternoon I'd forget what I'd done. Now I have a pretty good memory.
There's no question that people see the health benefits of oxygen. Just a few years ago, oxygen bars were popping up across the country. But that's a far cry from what proper treatments like hyperbaric oxygen therapy can achieve.
Mike, are you okay?
And it's easy.
They just put you in this nice glass tube, and you get to watch TV, and your ears kind of pop because they put you under pressure. No, it's just like breathing regular air. There's no difference.
Consumers can buy portable hyperbaric oxygen chambers, but they typically deliver far less oxygen and pressure than these industrial-grade ones. Hyperbaric oxygen therapy is used to treat conditions like migraines, carbon monoxide poisoning, and stroke.
So you see people that are having trouble with walking, they have much better coordination, they have more strength, and many people are able to get back to normal functioning or close to normal functioning post-stroke.
It's also used by people with burns, hearing loss, and autism.
We see the most response with people with speech problems because there's some deprivation of oxygen. The brain cells aren't working quite right with the speech, and they're able to help with speech problems and recovery.
Hyperbaric oxygen therapy may not be for everyone, but today Michael Black is in far better shape than he or his family ever dreamed possible since his near-fatal car crash. They believe this therapy has a lot to do with his recovery, so they plan to stick with it and hopefully see even more improvement. Lori Johnson, CBN News.